What's up, worship drummers? Timothy here from the Worship Drumming Academy, and my mission is to create these resources to help you grow and develop as a worship drummer and to be able to serve at your local church with excellence. And if you are a beginner or if you're just starting out with worship drumming, then this video is exactly for you. In this video, I will focus on the 5 drum parts that I believe that every worship drummer should learn, especially when starting out. Now, there are obviously a lot more parts that you'll want to learn eventually, but I think these are going to be the best ones to start out with, and you can take these parts and basically play any worship song. To help you out even more, I put together a free resource called the Worship Drumming Starter Guide, and so if you're a beginner drummer and you're starting out and you want to have access to even more helpful resources that will get you started on this journey as a worship drummer, make sure to click on the link below this. You can download it for free, and let's jump in. The first drum part that we will focus on are tom grooves. Worship songs are full of tom grooves. They are in intros, verses, choruses, bridges, outros, pretty much all of the parts of worship songs. And so it's going to be very important for you to start right here. Now, if all you can play right now is just a straight beat, that is great. And the next step should be learning your first tom groove. And so what we're going to do is a pretty simple tom groove, and then I'm going to show you a few variations of this. Dun, 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 dun. That's kind of what the tom groove sounds like. With counting, it would be 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and to make it easier for you to learn this, I'm going to slow it down to 40 BPM. That way you can play along with me and learn this exact tom groove. Now that I've played it at 40 BPM, make sure that you put the time into playing along with that, because in the beginning, you really want to make sure that you focus on each hit, the feel of it, and you don't rush into full speed right away. So practice it at the slow down tempo. Once you feel comfortable with that, you can jump in with me and play it at 70 BPM. Now, this particular tom groove, I think you could use in either a verse or a chorus. And now I want to show you a few different variations of the exact same pattern. So we'll still stick to the exact same hits, but they're going to be placed a little bit differently. So the first one is going to be for maybe a verse that's a little bit quieter and you don't want the rack tom to be in there and the second kick. So it's just going to be kick on 1, and then the tom hits are going to stay on the floor tom, just like this. Now let's say that you want to take it a notch up, let's say for a bridge or a bigger chorus. In this variation, again, same hits, but we're going to add kicks on all quarter notes, and I'm going to add a snare on beat 4, just like this. The second part that we will focus on is a drum beat, and this particular beat I believe is probably the most used beat in all of worship songs, probably over the past 10 to 20 years. So this one is really important to learn as well. It is actually pretty simple. So the first beat that you've probably learned is just kick, snare, kick, snare. So you got kick on 1, snare on 2. With this one, all we're going to do is add an 8th note kick. So it's going to be kick, kick, snare, kick, kick, snare. And this particular one is used in a lot of choruses or big instrumentals. But if you take it on the hi-hat, you could use it for verses as well. So what I'll do now is play it at 40 BPM, and you can play along with me. Now that you feel pretty comfortable with it at 40 BPM, we'll bump it up to 70 BPM, which is the typical tempo that you would play this at in worship songs. And I'll play it about 4 times, and you can play it along with me. Now, what I would recommend, instead of learning a bunch of different beats, just really focus on playing this one, put on some of your favorite worship songs, and just play this beat throughout the whole song and focus on the feel and the timing of it. And that way you're going to get more and more comfortable with it and more solid at playing this beat. If you would like to add a little variation, you can add a simple 8th note snare hit in there, and it makes it feel a little bit bigger, and I'll play it for you right now. The third drum part that I will be showing you is a build, and worship songs are full of builds, especially in bridges. A lot of the times the first bridge starts slow, second you start a little bit, and then by third or fourth you're really building that bridge up, and then it transitions into a chorus. So builds are going to be very important. And now these are not just short builds used as fills, but more builds that you use throughout whole sections. And what I'm going to show you here is one simple build that you can use in pretty much every worship song as well. And then from there, you obviously want to add more to it. You want to focus on building the intensity, but this is the exact part that I would recommend starting out with. Now that you played it at 40 BPM, the idea there is just to get comfortable with playing your right hand and left hand together, and then the kick together. And you want to make sure that it all lands at the same time so that it doesn't create a flam, which would be when, the snare or the kick would land a little bit sooner. So after you practice it at 40 BPM, let's jump into 70 BPM and you can play it at full speed. Now that you've learned your first build, there are different variations that you can add to it. So instead of placing the right hand on the ride, you can place it on the floor tom, and it will sound something like this. Another variation that you can do is, instead of having the right hand on the ride or the floor tom, you can add it to an open hi-hat, and it would sound something like this. Part number 4 is a snare roll, and this is something that you can use either for verses, or if you add more intensity, it could be in a chorus as well. It's a little bit different than a tom groove or a hi-hat groove, but it will basically have 16 note snares, and then you will accent the 2 and 4. We'll be adding kick on 1, and here it is at 40 BPM. With this one, it is important to focus on keeping the ghost notes really quiet and low, and then the accent, you want to make sure that you hit that one pretty hard. Once you feel comfortable with it at 40 BPM, let's jump to 70 BPM and you can play it along with me. Now, if you want to take this snare roll to the next level, you can add a little snare accent in there and a kick, and it will make it sound just like this. Now that you have these 4 parts, the tom groove, the big chorus groove, you got a build and a snare roll. The last part that I will teach you is a fill, and often this is used as a transition going from one part to another, and it also leads the band and the congregation into the next section. So in this one, I'm going to show you a pretty simple but powerful fill. So the fill itself, all you're going to do is 4 16th note hits. The first hit is going to land on the snare, second on the rack tom, and then 2 hits on the floor tom. Even though this is a simple and this is one of the first fills you're learning, you're going to be using this, 5-10 years from now, and I personally still use this fill quite a bit. So let me first play it at 40 BPM, that way you can play along. If this one still feels a little bit uncomfortable, what I would do is, instead of doing the groove with the fill, just do the fill. So just practice. Da, 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 da. Just those 4 hits. Practice it over and over, and then go back to playing it with the groove. And once you feel comfortable, let's jump into playing it at 70 BPM. I'll play it 4 times and you can play it along with me. I really hope that you enjoy these 5 drum parts, and I think if you put the time into practicing these and you get really comfortable and confident at playing them, this is gonna make the biggest difference for you on this journey as a worship drummer. There's a lot of stuff that you can learn, and I know that it can be pretty overwhelming, but again, just focus on learning these 5 parts, then apply them to different worship songs. I would just take a song, listen to it, and hear, okay, I can hear that there's a tom groove in this section, or a full, chorus groove, or there's a build, and then take these 5 parts and apply it to the song. These 5 parts are in 4/4 time signature, but I'll also be making a video where I do it in 6/8. Now, if you would like to get access to the worship drumming starter guide, make sure to check out the link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and let me know in the comments which part you will be focusing on first. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.